What is a university? What will it offer me, and why go? My name is Eva. I'm from Carmarthenshire and I'm 20 years old. I went to Ysgol Gyfun Gymraeg Bro and I'm a Sarah Network alumni. I'm now currently a student at the University of Oxford and I'm in my second year studying law. The aim of this session is to provide you with information, advice and guidance about what a university is, what it can offer you, and why people go to university. Hopefully I can also add a bit of personal experience to the presentation so that you can hear firsthand how amazing university is and how it's helped me so far. So first up, what is a university? So a dictionary definition of university says that it is an institution of higher education offering tuition in mainly non-vocational subjects and typically having the power to confer degrees. It comes from the Latin phrase, and excuse my pronunciation, Universitas Magistrorum et Scholarium, which roughly means community of teachers and scholars. But for me, university is somewhere you go to study a subject you love and to have new experiences. After you finish your studies at university, you will usually get a degree, and for some jobs you need a certain degree to do them. But for others, just having any degree is necessary, and you can do whatever you fancy. Most degrees are 3 to 4 years in duration, with some exceptions, such as medicine, where it's typically 5 to 6 years. There are so many different types of universities, and they come in different shapes and sizes. In the UK, there are 154. This means that there's plenty of choice for whether you'd rather stay closer to home or travel far away. And you can also study at universities that are not in the UK. While this is a bit more complicated, it's definitely possible. There are over 25,000 universities in the world. Some universities have campuses where the accommodation, teaching facilities, etc. are all in one place, whereas others can be spread out across the city. And it kind of just depends on what you'd prefer, so when you're a bit older and looking into universities, that's definitely an important thing to keep in mind. Universities vary in size as well, so the University of Manchester is one of the biggest in the UK, with over 40,000 students, whereas the University of Buckingham, for example, has 3,000 students. I've just highlighted some differences between school and university on this slide. First off, in school, in terms of subjects, obviously you're splitting your time between a number of different subjects, and although this decreases as you go to GCSEs and then A-levels, where you select fewer subjects, you're still not studying them in as much depth as you could because you've got a couple of them to balance at the same time. Whereas at university, you're focusing on either one or two subjects because you can do this thing called joint honours where you can have, say, English and history as your joint degree. But if you're only doing one or two subjects, you're really focusing on them in depth, and it's really good to grapple with the issues of stuff that really interests you. And then at university, you're taught through a combination of lectures and smaller group sessions, which are often called seminars or tutorials. And the lectures will consist of a lecturer just standing in front of you and teaching you about that topic. And usually the questions are left till the end. They're not as interactive. It's more of you just listening and taking it in. And then when you go to do your reading, using what you've learned in the lectures to help you. But then you'll also have seminars and tutorials, which are smaller group sessions. And here it usually is a bit more interactive, more similar to lessons that you have in school. And then finally, one difference that I've noticed is that in school, teachers do a lot for you. And while lecturers and tutors also do help you out a lot at university, it's more that you have to approach them if you need something. You have to be more independent, and there's not as much leeway with deadlines and things. So a lot of it is down to you, but there are support systems in place as well. For subjects offered at university, there are so many different types of ones. I've put quite a few of them on the slide here. These are just some examples, but you can do absolutely anything really. There's one course at Manchester Metropolitan, I think, that does Pizza Hut studies, which is an interesting one. And I'm sure if you search that up, you could find out more information about that. But yeah, you've got your traditional subjects like medicine, law, you can do drama, you can do any type of science really. There are so many different science courses that you can do, any languages. It's just worth looking really, and yeah, there should be something for everyone. An important question to ask is what university will offer you. So I've split this into skills, career opportunities, and then experiences. So in terms of skills, a degree first allows you to develop some transferable skills, which are really valuable for when you're applying for jobs. So communication, presentation, problem solving and teamwork are just some of the skills that a degree will allow you to develop. I know a lot of courses encourage teamwork and group presentations and things, which is really a good way to get to know people as well as working in a team and developing those skills. And then in terms of your self-development, a degree is really good for boosting your independence because you have to do a lot of reading and a lot of research yourself. It also develops your self-confidence as you think of different ideas and arguments and develop your own opinion on things. And it gives you a sense of responsibility because you have deadlines and you need to stick to them. And so, yeah, they're the skills. And then in terms of career opportunities, a wider variety of career options to choose from once you have a degree, and you're also more likely to progress faster up the career ladder. In addition to this, if you want to do a particular job, such as being a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer, then you will need to do a certain degree for those courses. So that's worth looking into. And a lot of those courses you can't, or a lot of those jobs you can't do until you have a degree of some sort. And then finally, statistics show that graduates earn significantly more than those without higher education qualifications. So going to university will boost your earnings. Finally, for me, the most important thing about university is the experiences that it has provided me with. First off, just meeting new people and meeting people from all over the world. And this is important because you get to hear different perspectives and you get to develop your own ideas and listen to other people, and you also then make really lasting, really good friendships. There are also loads of societies and clubs at universities. You can have a society for tea drinking, or you can have the more traditional societies, like a debating society, and then also sports clubs. I've shown a picture there of me with my netball team, and playing sport at university is really fun because it pushes you further. You can play at a more competitive level, and yeah, you get to develop new skills through that. It also allows you to discover new places. So I love being in a city and discovering different parts of the city, and being a student allows you to do that because you're living here for a certain period of time. And there are also opportunities to study abroad and to try new things. So the experiences that university provides you with are invaluable. In terms of advice, I know it's probably quite scary to think about university now when you're only in year 8 or year 9, but it's definitely worth researching and looking into so that when the time comes to make a decision, you'll have had a lot of information about it, and you would have considered what suits you and what you're interested in. I'd also recommend that if you do come across something that you're passionate about or want to explore further in lessons or wherever it may be, then go and find books or documentaries or podcasts on it, and then keep track of these things that you listen to or read, because when the time comes to make a decision, you can then look back and probably get some inspiration about what you've been interested in the past and what maybe you'd like to carry on to university. And finally, work hard and consistently, but also just make sure you have lots of fun and take every opportunity that comes your way, especially if the Sarah Network put on any opportunities I would definitely recommend that you take them up on them, because they helped me to get to where I am today, and I'm really thankful for that. Thank you for listening.
We hope you have found your masterclass and university guidance videos interesting and informative. It's now time to head over and take a look at the resources available and, importantly, details of the magazine article competition. This is an exciting opportunity to answer the question you tackled in your masterclass. Remember that if you're going to take part in the essay competition, you can download guidance from the lobby, and you should submit your magazine article to your teacher by the 22nd of March. As I mentioned earlier, the best pieces from each school will be reviewed by a panel of experts, with winner from each hub receiving a certificate from the Welsh Government. We look forward to receiving your entries, and good luck.
Finally, before we go, for any teachers watching, we would like your help. This has been the first time that we've been able to bring you a national Seren Foundation event. So as teachers, we need you to tell us what worked well and what could have been even better to support the planning of future events. You'll receive an email with an evaluation link sent straight after this event, and we really value any feedback you're able to provide.
Thank you in advance for your feedback, and all that remains for us to say is goodbye.
Stay safe, stay well, and stay learning.